Okay, I'm going to go kind of quick through this one. Okay. So you've got three separate terms, x second, x constant, that's a polynomial, P1, x second, x constant, P2. All you have in the middle is a plus sign. Just don't do any rainbows. You start lining up spaces right off the bat. So x second is the highest power of x in the whole problem. Then x, then constant. So x second, you combine the 1 with the negative 3, because those are both x second. 1 plus negative 3 is negative 2. Then x, you combine the negative 4 with the 13, because those are both multiplied by x. Negative 4 plus 13 is 9. And the constants, you have positive 6 and positive 1. That makes 7. Boom. Okay, P1, P2. So we have x third, x second, x, and P1. That's why it's a polynomial. You got three terms multiplied by different things. Then x second, x constant. So now you have a subtraction sign. Now you're going to do exactly what you're doing here after you change the subtraction to addition and switch all the terms in P2 to their opposite value. So negative 6x seconds now positive, 3x is now positive, and that 11 is now negative. Now I'm ready to do the slots. X third, x second, x second, x constant. So we start with x to the third and descend it, x second, x constant. So x to the power of 3, so we have a 9 here. We do not have x to the third here, so it's just 9. X to the power of 2, here it is, negative 11, and here it is with the positive 6. Negative 11 plus 6 is negative 5. Okay, x, you have a 2 and a 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then constants, you don't have anything here, then you have negative 11 right there. Okay, number 3, you have 3x to the third. If it's outside, that serves as P1, okay, because it's only one term. And then P2, you have x fourth, x second, x constant. All right, so this is multiplication. So I go in P1. If I had to make a parentheses, that's my own parentheses, that's because there was only one term right there, okay, the 3. So 3 to 8. 3 to negative 1, 3 to negative 3, 3 to 5. So that 3 with its x to the third is multiplied by 4 things, because you see the 4 rainbows. So multiply. First you multiply by 8x to the fourth. Then you multiply to negative 1x to the second. Then you multiply to negative 3x. Then you multiply to positive 5. Okay, so 3 times 8 is 24. Now there's two x factors, so you put x with a plus sign to multiply those. 3 plus 4 is 7, so 24x to the 7th. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Then you have two x's, so I need to see a plus, and then 3 plus 2 is 5, okay? Just put a little 5 there, okay? 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. There's two x factors, so we put x with a plus, and to multiply the x factors, we add their exponents. So 3, that's a 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, negative 9x to the fourth. Then 3 times 5 is 15. Oh, we need to write x down, but I don't need a plus because this is the only factor I have. It has a 3, so we put a 3. So we have x seventh, x to the fifth, x to the fourth, x to the third. So x seventh is what we'd start with. They're all different. Then I don't put x sixth. I'd be dumb because I don't have that. X to the fifth. And then x to the fourth, and then x to the third, okay? So x seventh, we have just a 24. X fifth, we have negative 3. X to the fourth, we have negative 9. Then x to the third, we have 15. There you go. Okay, next page. We have 4x minus 3, x and a constant, that's P1. And then 1x minus 7, that's your P2. Remember, minus will mean it's a negative. Now again, there's no symbol, that means multiplication. Now P1, unlike the last problem, has two different terms. You have the x with the 4 and the negative 3, so you need to distribute them, all of them. So 1, 4 to 1, 4 to negative 7, but it's 4x. Now I'm multiplying by the 1 with its x, and then I'm multiplying by the negative 7. Now don't find those because you're not done, because now you have to do the same thing with the negative 3. Go underneath. So negative 3 times the same two factors, 1x and negative 7. Okay, 4 times 1 is 4. Then x, I put a plus sign because there's two of them, and it's just 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, so 4x to the 2. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Then I write x, I don't put a plus. Now if I don't see a power, you don't have to put one, or if it's driving you nuts not having one, you can always put a 1. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. I write x down, no plus. Now if this x doesn't have a power, you don't have to put one, or if you really want to put one, you can put a 1. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. So we have x second, x first, constant. So x second, then x first means it's just x, and then the constant slot. So search for x to the second right there with the 4. X, that's your x to the first. You have two of those, so you need to combine them into one by adding. You're not multiplying them. The multiplication game's over once we get them lined up. When I'm putting into slots and there's two of them, I add them. They're like terms. Negative 31. Then 21. Okay, next one. P1 is a 1x and a 4. P2 is a 1x to the second, a 6x, and a constant negative 5. So again, that's multiplication. So multiplication, you circle all the terms you have in P1 and start distributing them one by one. Okay, so 3 distributions. 1x to the second, 6x, and negative 5. Then 4 goes underneath, okay, and the 4 is distributed to the same three things, 1x to the second, 6x, negative 5. Now you're done distributing, you find what products you have. Okay, 1 times 1 is 1, there's two x's, so I put x with a plus, and you're going to have a 1 and a 2, so 1 plus 2 is 3, 1x to the third. 1 times 6 is 6, there's two x factors, and that's a 1 plus a 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. You don't put a plus sign here with the x. If it doesn't have a power, you don't have to put 1. If you want to, you can put a 1. 4 times 1 is 4. X, no plus sign, and it has a power of 2, so you need to put 2. 4 times 6 is 24. X, no plus sign. If the x doesn't have a power, you can not put 1 or just put 1. Then 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. So when I slot this, it's x third, x second, x or x first, x second, x or x first, and then the constant negative 20. So x third's the high. X second, x constant. So x to the third, we have the 1. Okay. x to the second, we have the 6 here, not here, and then the 4. 6 and 4 add to 10. Okay, x. That's your x. That means x to the first. So you have that twice. So you add the negative 5 and the 24. That's 19. Then the constant, you have negative 20. Okay, number 6. I got a 4x and a negative 3. That's P1, but where the heck's P2? Well, see, the second power means you make a multiplication, and then P2 is the exact same as P1. Okay? Now, doing exactly what you're doing here. You have two terms in P1, distribute 1 by 1. So 4x times 4x times negative 3. Negative 3 times 4x times negative 3. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus on the x's, 1 plus 1 makes 2. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. X, no plus. If it doesn't have a power, you don't have to put 1, or you can put a 1. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. X, you don't put an exponent. It doesn't have to have a power. If there's no power there, you don't have to put 1. If you want 1, you put a 1. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So you have x second, x first constant. X second, there it is, it's the 16. Now again, for about the 30th time, x means you're searching for x to the first. You're adding those. Negative 12 is negative 24. And then 9. Okay, then the story problem. You're designing a frame to surround a 22 by 20 inch picture. The frame is the same width on every side, so draw your picture. You get your pictures there, 22 by 20. If you get the 22, 20 mixed around, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Good. So we have 22 and then x and x. We have 20 and x and x. Okay. So that's the length, that's the width. Okay. Write a polynomial that represents the total area of the picture and frame. Now I did that because area is equal to the length times the width. Now what do I have for length? Well, I have x plus 22 plus x. Now those x's need to be combined by adding, so it'd be 2x plus 22. Now, on the width, x plus 20 plus x. Those x's are combined by adding, and that would be 2x plus 20. Okay, you need to multiply this out then, okay? So it's multiplication. You see the dot right there. So this is P1, this is P2, okay? So P1 contains 2x and 22. So 2x to 2x, 2x to 20. And then 22 to 2x to 20. Two times 2 is 4. X, there's 2, so 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. 2 times 20 is 40. Put x, don't put a plus. If you want an exponent, if you don't see an exponent, you don't have to put 1, or you just put 1. 22 times 2 is 44. On x, put a 1 if you want. 22 times 20 is 440. So we have x second, x first constant. Okay, so x second, you have 4. X means you're looking for x to the first. 40 plus 44 is 84. The constant, you have 440. Okay, circle that. Find the combined area of the picture and the frame when the width of the frame is 4 inches. So what that means is those x's are now 4, so that are equals x. 4 equals x, so replace your x's. I'll just write it here like I've always done. Now, you empty those x's, okay? You fill those in with empty parentheses. So 4 parentheses to the second plus 84 parentheses plus 440, okay? And 4 goes in for x. Okay, now a is by itself, you just fill it in. So 4 parentheses 4 caret 2 plus 84 parentheses 4. You got to get the caret 2 after the first parentheses because it's to the second power. Plus 440. Okay, I got 840 inches, but it's square inches. Area is measured in square units. Okay.